What is going on? It is Latoria Q back with another video. I am on vacation, but I'm in the gym and I'm making a video. Baby, that is called consistency, okay? But I wanted to share with you my travel experience from yesterday. I had an amazing flight, two of them. And the first one, I was leaving my hometown area, just went to the airport, wasn't thinking anything of it. And I sat next to a lady, and my mind was blown just by synchronicity, just by being at the right place at the right time, sitting next to the right person. So if you don't know, I wrote a book, and this lady was going to a conference where she was a part of the panel because she writes fantasy books, and her fantasy books, they're taking off, right? And so she's asked to be a part of panels for character development. How does she put together her environments? How does she explain? How does she choose her words? They're wanting to pick her brain, basically, right? And so she asked me what I do, where am I going, how am I doing, what's the plan, kind of thing, just chit chatting. And we get into the most amazing conversation over 45 minutes, okay? And I shared with her part of Neville Goddard's, just his visualization in regards to you just do it scared, but not just you do it scared, you see the wonderful and even the scary, right? So she's going to go speak on this panel and she's ready to share all her information. And she's just telling me how scared she is. And I'm saying, but isn't it wonderful though? And she looks at me and she says, you know what? It is wonderful. It is wonderful. And I was like, exactly. Don't ever talk yourself out of your vision. Do not ever talk yourself out of it just because life gave you some lemons, because you've had experiences that took away from you, or you had experiences that you didn't like, or you came across relationships that were hard or heavy. Because like I said, we had a long conversation. We got into everything, honey. I even made a friend, okay? But with that being said, it's embrace it. Embrace it. Because your story, it took it all. It took every single moment for you to come to this now moment. It took every single experience. It took every single relationship. It took every single part of your story to make your now. But isn't it wonderful? Maybe it didn't always feel good, but isn't this wonderful? Maybe it didn't always make sense, but isn't it wonderful? Maybe you had a lot of crying nights. Maybe you had some sleepless nights. Maybe you had some days of rocking yourself to sleep. Maybe you just wish you had a friend to call. But isn't it wonderful? Everything that you came through, everything that you had to go through the process of experience for, isn't it wonderful? So I say all that to say, don't get discouraged, right? And so I was getting on to my next flight, my long flight, and I met another woman, and she was much older, and she was saying how she decided to move and relocate her life 10 years ago. And she says, I wish I would have did it sooner, but I just didn't know I could do it. She says, it took my kids to show me I could do it. Well, listen, sometimes it does take someone in their youth, someone that is unsuspecting, someone that you don't know, someone that you say, well, you should be listening to me. I shouldn't be listening to you. Sometimes it does take another person to share with you information that just do it. Take the leap, right? And so she was traveling on to go see her grandson for his birthday, and she was just explaining how life is just so different now. She grew up in the hustle and bustle of Boston, and she lives in the beautiful heart of Colorado, and where she's now embraced by nature and life in it's slower paced and it's easygoing, right? But she said, I could have never imagined that being where I was at, living this kind of life then. Well, let me tell you why I'm telling you that story. So often we're in a season of we can only see our environment and vibrate at the level our environment vibrates. So if you're in a place that's stagnant, you may oftentimes see yourself doing or being stagnant. If you're in a place that's hustle and bustle, You'll oftentimes have an energy of hustle and bustle. But if that's not the energy state you want to be in, let's say you're in a city and you like the calm of the country because you operate better there. Get out now. The time for you to be in the environment that gives you the energy that you need so you can give the energy that you have to the environment and it be productive. Where you are matters. It's not only what you say matters, where you place yourself also matters. When you're wanting to manifest, so often we can't just get up and say, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to go over here and do that, as easy as it really is. So often our mind makes us feel like it's limited, but you're not limited at all. You're only limited by your own actions and your own thoughts. You're only limited by what you surround yourself with. You're only limited by the parameters you put on yourself. You're not limited in any way, fashion, shape, or form. But if you need inspiration, find your inspiration and go get in the environment that you need to be in so you can be the highest, greatest vibrating version of yourself. Your frequency oftentimes determines how fast you can move. Your frequency also determines how high or low you are. So if you need to be in a state of high flying frequency, you need to get in an environment that gives you that energy. And so getting away from people who people who just don't make any sense, people who don't matter, people who can't contribute to your life, people you can't serve, people you can't show value to, get away from them. Everybody ain't for you. And find yourself in an environment what makes your soul happy. Find yourself in an environment that gives you excitement and tenacity and vibrancy. Find yourself in a time zone where when you wake up in the morning, you don't feel tired and groggy. Find yourself in a place where if you need to go walk by a river or you need to go for a bike ride, it's easy for you to do. This is your sign. This is your moment. Isn't it wonderful? Bye.